everybody, my name is JJ and this is the third installment of my very new journey here on YouTube. So welcome to my channel, and in case you haven't checked out the first two videos that I've posted, basically what I do is I give you guys tarot readings. The first two signs I covered were Aquarius and Capricorn, and you see, in no particular order, right? I don't follow the order of the zodiac. I simply go by my own feeling on which sign it is that I have to cover in a day. Or if someone happens to bring up a sign, then I will feel the need to make that my focus. And it also very much depends on the people that are around me as well. So today is a very Scorpio-oriented day for me. Actually, a lot of the time it's Scorpio-oriented day because my parents are both Scorpios. I am the daughter of two Scorpios, and that's rough. Don't take offense, but it is rough. I mean, you guys are tough, but I love you because you've always got my back, always. I mean, not just because Scorpios are my parents, but one of my closest friends ever, I love her to bits and pieces, is a Scorpio, and she drew my attention to the fact that Scorpio season is coming to an end today. So this makes sense. I really wanted to get this video out sooner rather than later, especially since it so happens that with this supermoon, the full moon in Taurus that peaked a few days ago, there is a direct link with the sun being in Scorpio. There is an opposition link, actually, which means that things are a little bit intense right now for you guys. It's intense for pretty much everyone because full moons tend to have more of an effect on people, and super moons have an even greater influence. But if there is a direct link, like a conjunction, a square, an opposition, a sextile, a number of things, then something is usually emphasized more for that sign. So there's a lot of stubborn energy going around now as a result of this supermoon in terms of how it is playing out with your sign. That doesn't have to be a bad thing. It just means that things are rather intense. And while I was meditating on your cards I've meditated on, I sort of started shuffling because at some point I started to record and then I got interrupted, so I had to redo. But it doesn't really impact the video itself, so no worries there. So I meditated on your cards because that's usually how I do things before I start. I like to think about the sign and the characteristics, and I ground myself and I connect myself and the whole shebang. When I was meditating, I really the concept of privacy came to me, and it doesn't surprise me because, in my opinion, Scorpios are private people. They like to keep a lot to themselves, but they can be extremely open if you ask them to, if you confide in them. And you can confide in them. They've got your back. They really do. They're the kind, if they see bullshit, they will call you out on it, and that's why you guys are tough. You guys are tough, you guys are rough, but you speak the truth. You really do, and I love that about you guys so much. But just because you come off as rough sometimes and tough does not mean you don't have emotions. You actually have a lot of emotions, but you don't easily reveal this to the world. And I feel that's because you know how much people can hurt. You are an extremely intuitive sign. It's berserk, or at least I speak on behalf of my own experience. My mom, she's super duper psychic. bit scary. She's always been this way. In the past, she used to like reflect on these things a bit more with me. Not so much anymore, you know, I don't think she has to, but like I'm around her all the time. But especially when we were living apart, you know, she would always know what was up with me. And I know that like moms and daughters, they have a link, sure, but it's insane. A little bit. I mean, she would really know what would be going on. I wouldn't have to say anything. Sometimes she just has a nagging suspicion, and it usually comes true. So anyway, how I also like to do these readings is that when I start to shuffle, you know, I really like the cards to just pop out of the deck. As opposed to like have to rely on a structured approach of shuffling and then picking the cards, laying out the cards one by one. I do use spreads, but only upon request, like a Celtic cross spread, for instance, or a horseshoe spread, or a past, present, and future spread. But with readings like this, when I don't impose a theme, I just like the cards to come out, and I'll usually just lay out 3 rows of an undefined number of cards. I go by feeling to represent your past, present, and future states, basically. And sometimes the past energies can be like recent past that's creeping into the future, into the present, sorry. And other times, depending on your situation, it's way back in the past. I also really love to keep a journal by me, and this journal, you know, I've written it myself. It's my like divination journal, if you will. It's my thoughts journal, and I've documented all the meanings of the cards here. So of course I listen to the traditional meanings of the cards. And I am using, you know, a standard Rider-Waite deck right now. So I do listen to the traditional meanings of the card, but I also go by intuition, for sure. And it's basically, like, I like to have these notes. Oh, that really popped out. I like to refer back to notes sometimes, especially if like a card I feel it just came out of nowhere and I want further clarification, so I turn to the journal. I hope you guys don't mind. I don't know a lot of tarot readers who do that, but you know, to each his own. In my opinion, if it makes a person feel better, do it. Like, actually, I said this in the Aquarius video. I used to be a singer. Well, I mean, I still sing. I don't sing professionally or anything like that, but when I'd get on stage, basically, this is a little bit embarrassing, but I'm just gonna say it. I would bring, you know, lyrics on stage with me, and it's not like I'm standing there and like, you know, lyrics are right in front of me or anything. No, but just knowing that they're there, you know, on the floor, just in case I freeze up for whatever reason, because we're all human, knowing that they're there, it makes me feel better. And I don't tend to have to rely on them too much. So you've got some interesting cards that have already come out. You've already got 3 major arcanas out of 4 that have popped out. The first one you have is the Hanged Man. The second, and that's followed by the Justice. Then you have the King of Swords and the High Priestess in reverse. And actually, like, it popped out at a very slanted angle. So I'll be honest, it's like maybe not entirely reversed, but that doesn't exist in tarot. It's either upright or it's in the reverse. For the sake of your reading, I'm going to look at both meanings, of course. you are of extremely, wow, another major arcana. What's going on? Got the moon. What? You guys are an extremely intuitive sign. You're, in my opinion, you know. So the High Priestess really defines you well, you know, because she's a card of, like, you know, someone who knows everything, who has access to secrets, but doesn't necessarily reveal all to people. And that's another characteristic that I see in Scorpios, that you're very mysterious. You will not like necessarily go off on a tangent about what it is that you're thinking unless someone probes you. You won't necessarily start a discussion. Like, someone could like be in your midst and they might piss you off, and you might bottle it all up inside of you for a very, very, very long time. And unless they come and, like, you know, poke you and poke you and poke you and poke and provoke, you might not tell them what you think, and it's your prerogative. A lot of people, I mean, I do that too sometimes, and I'm not a Scorpio. But, you know, this is just how I see you guys, and the link I feel you have with the High Priestess. And if indeed we're going to interpret this card as being in the reverse, I feel that anyway, in the reverse, it doesn't really so much as take on a different meaning, other than the impact of the card is reduced a bit. So it could be that your intuition is a little bit off maybe now. But I want to start in order. So first you have the Hanged Man here, which is a card, you know, that talks about life kind of being in suspension, a little bit on pause. It can also be a card of sacrifice. It could be that you sacrificed a lot in the past for something. And I'm getting for your family. But now it's really paying off, because the Justice card came right after the Hanged Man. So, all in good timing, you know? All fair game. So if you were sacrificing a lot, you're getting something out of this now, which is great. There's justice. And could it be with regards to this King of Swords? It's an air element, so Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. I don't feel like this is you, really. I honestly feel that you're the High Priestess. You may have been having problems with this King of Swords, and problems may have been as a result of you reading them incorrectly somehow. Could be that your intuition was a little bit off. Maybe you trusted a little bit too much. You confided a little bit too much in this person. And, you know, they didn't meet your expectations somehow. And I feel that they were withholding information. Why? Because we also have the Moon card here. So there was information that you were not privy to in the past. Secrets there, lingering and lurking about, which you may still not be privy to. That could also be a very good reason why, if you've been flipped upside down, like in the case of the High Priestess, which, you know, ordinarily doesn't represent Scorpio at all. Like, the Death card is Scorpio, actually. But it could very well, I feel that this is really your energy now, and it could very well be that because you weren't privy to certain information, you had nagging suspicions that you got flipped upside down. But it's looking so much better now. So much better, I have to say, because creeping into present energy is the Four of Wands, which is like one of my favorite cards in this entire deck. It's such a happy card. And it's a card of like feeling like you've made it, you know, you really made it on a family front. And that further, for me, it confirms to me that the sacrifice that I brought up earlier, that being about family, feels a lot more likely now. It's right beneath the Hanged Man, see? Lower these cards a little bit. Because, you know, the Four of Wands talks about like feeling a lot more secure and stable, finally, you know, in your home life. And it can also, like, some people see this as like a marriage card as well. Right next to it, you have the Six of Cups, which is a card that talks about like having really, really happy memories, childhood memories, and if not childhood memories, you know, just memories in general that have creeped in from the past. So it's like something great that happened in the past that's coming back into the present. It's that sort of energy, you know? It could be someone coming from the past, coming to visit. Or you've heard from someone you haven't heard from in a really, really long time. That can also be. I'm a little bit weary of this King of Swords, you know, that popped up here in the past. But I really feel like this King of Swords was a source of anxiety, really, for you guys. Right underneath the King of Swords, into the present, is the Empress. It's another major arcana. And the Empress is an extremely nurturing, fertile person. The Empress can also represent pregnancy. So, some of you have been trying to have a family. Awesome. You feel maybe that you're at a good position now to start having a family. Could be. Or the Empress could represent someone in your life. And if it's not a person and it's more an energy, it's you know, like a gateway. It's an entryway to something. It is feeling prepared to take on something new. Like you've got the tools. And you can move forward. You have the knowledge, you can move forward. You definitely have the knowledge anyway with the High Priestess here. It could be like whatever secrets, you know, that were being kept from you with this Moon card. Could be that now they've been revealed, and if you had a couple of rogues in your environment, it may have been made more apparent to you now. Yeah, so I feel like there was a judgment that was made, for sure, in the past. And I feel it regards finances somehow. Judgment was made. Information has now been revealed to you. You know, there was at some point a point when you were sacrificing a lot, and now you're getting justice over whatever it was, you know, that was also causing you all this anxiety from not knowing perhaps like whether or not you could like start having this happy could be married life or a partnership or a stable home, and actually making it like this was something you could have been dreaming of, or even something that maybe you were a little bit afraid of venturing into. That can also be with the moon, you know. It could also be, you know, someone who's just like a little bit afraid of what lies ahead. But this is in the present now, you know. You've got really good energy with the Six of Cups, you know. It's like it's happiness. It could be that now you're moving forward with a soulmate. I feel that heavily, and it's an extremely nurturing relationship, and one that has the potential for an actual family to come out of it. If I go a little bit silent, because I'm thinking right now. I like to contemplate on a few things sometimes, you know, just to make sure, because multiple storylines can be developed, of course. Yeah, you're definitely moving forward with something, that's for sure. May not feel that way now, but you will be. Chariot. I love this card. So, you know, after the Empress is the Seven of Cups, and this is a very illusory card. So this is like someone who could be contemplating quite a few things, and you know, when I look at this card, it's like finding a gem here. It's finding a gem, because the contents of most of these cups, of 6 out of 7 of the cups, is rather ugly here. Like you've got a snake and a tower, which the tower represents, you know, maybe like a huge change. You've got a wreath and like a weird dragon figure of sorts. You know, look at the imagery if you can. Can you see it? Is it bright enough? I hope so. But then there's one cup right here. It's got all these beautiful gems and jewels in them. So I feel as though you really, you know, like if you were single, you found someone who really made you feel like, wow, you've got a real gem. Now you found a real gem. She could be the Empress herself here, and a soulmate that's come in from the past. It could be from like a past lifetime relationship. If you believe in that, if you believe in reincarnation, could very well be. And that has turned you into an extremely passionate person right now. Like you feel there is hope. I feel for you that like now, like if you were struggling a little bit with this anxiety and all the sacrifice, like it's paid off, and now you're ready to move forward with a lot of passion. And this is a very animated figure, you know, someone he's a fast thinker, fast mover, and he's strong as well. You know, he's got strength really, really backing him up. The King of Wands is actually extremely fiery energy, whereas you are a water sign. So the King of Wands usually is like a Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries. And, you know, in traditional weight meaning, the King of Wands can also represent a really good marriage. So that further reinforces for me the idea that right now in the present, you're focusing on family. And in the future, you'll really, really be moving forward with this Chariot. Like, fast, you know, because you also have the Knight of Wands here. So there's a lot of fiery energy. Could be going on a journey somewhere. Maybe time for a honeymoon? If you're getting married, hey, congratulations. If you've gotten married, congratulations. If you're getting engaged, congratulations. Or not. Maybe you're moving in somewhere. Or maybe you're just simply taking a small, like, a break, a retreat of sorts, you know, with your loved one in the future. And you know what? You deserve it, I feel. Like, if you've made all these sacrifices, things have been a little bit rough in the past. And then justice comes in to, like, save you and say, ah, it's time for you to get what you deserve now, which is awesome. Happy for you guys. That's really, really great. And you know what? Like, I've been noticing, like, happier energy anyway around my parents, and that's, like, good. If I'm completely off, like, please tell me. Because, you know, I am new to this. I'm not new to the tarot, not very new to the tarot, but I'm new to this, like giving videos and not having someone to talk to who can give me immediate feedback, which is extremely valuable. I mean, and of course, you know, when you're doing a private reading for someone and you take on their energy, it's a completely different situation anyway. So if this doesn't resonate with you, that's fine. No offense taken. It doesn't help that I can't see you guys. Like, it really doesn't. I really love to, like, watch a person's face and their expressions. Expressions can reveal, you know, your face can reveal so much. And your body language, of course. Body language is gold. And if I'm going to tell you a little bit about me, I come from, like, a psychology background. Mostly cognitive psychology and neuroscience. And at some point, I went into something called cognitive science. And that's, like, the intersection of many, many different fields, like philosophy, computer science, engineering, robotics, AI, the whole bloody 9 yards. Most recently, my master's was in, like, how to apply cognitive psychology and principles of the brain to everything from everyday life to how we can enhance technology, interactions, therapy, how we can improve these things. Okay. I'm going to call it as I see it. I don't like these last two cards that came out. I don't. You have the Eight of Swords and the Seven of Swords. Why? I had a nagging suspicion, okay, when this Seven of Cups came out, because it's an illusions card, okay, so yeah, it can also mean that you have scored a gem, yes, but it can also be a card where things are up in the air, not entirely focused, even though the King of Wands, to me, is focused. And he moves fast, usually, because he knows what he wants. But this is a little bit of an auspicious, it's a weird card, you know, when it comes up, it's like a bit of a red flag, not necessarily a very severe red flag, of course. But something to watch out for, because, you know, the Eight of Swords, like, is very stuck energy. And if you're a female watching this, it can also mean, like, gossip, chagrin. Did I say that correctly? And, you know, the Seven of Swords is... You've got two cards that pop, but I feel this... No. I feel like these two cards were not meant for you. And... Am I back? Okay. Laptop's also going a little bit woohoo crazy. And it's freaking hot, I have to say. It's hot in here. I have the window open for good reason, but it's hot in here. So the Seven of Swords is like futile energy. It's when you've rushed into things a little bit too fast, and it could have been, yeah, that you did. With the King of Wands, maybe. And also with the, the Chariot is also like moving forward. But the Chariot is overcoming obstacles, which is great. It's really positive. The Knight of Wands is also, fast movement. Like the Knight of Wands knows which direction he's headed in, even though he's a pretty young figure. He knows which direction. You've got a lot of fiery energy in here. So the Eight of Wands, the Eight of Swords and the Seven of Swords popping out here is a little bit, I don't like it, why? Where'd it come from? And you have the Page of Pentacles too. Earth. First indication of earth energy here. Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. You're studying the situation. You're studying the situation now. You're looking into it. You will be looking into it. Soon, not now. Now things really seem to be going very well for you, but caution, yeah? I feel you need to give caution a bit. And this King of Swords in the past may be coming back and messing things up for you a little bit. If you had a plan that you thought was going well with this Empress, with this happy reunion. Let me put these down. With this, which is really beautiful, Sorry. I really love this energy. I think it's fantastic. Happy home, possibly with a soulmate or someone you know from the past. Wonderful woman, really, who has a lot to offer. So much knowledge that she wants to give. So much love and life that keeps flowing and flowing. You will be moving forward, with this energy, with this person, if it is a new person, or if it is your current partner and you're taking a new step in the relationship, you're evolving. But this doesn't feel very right here. And whatever secrets were in the past involving this King of Swords, that flipped you all upside down like this and reduced your intuitive power, which you ignored for a little bit, I must say, because of this potential coming in, and also because it's very encouraging energy right now to let go of all the things that don't serve us. So you were trying to let go of this King of Swords and all the anxiety that was being caused from this information you had no idea that came to light. You want to let go of it. You really, I feel this, that It is a time now to let go of people, places, and situations that do not serve you anymore. And Scorpios do that very, very, very well, and they do it fast and with so much passion and emotion. Because when Scorpios give, they give. And when they want to cut you off, you're gone. It's like, bye-bye. You mean nothing to us anymore. Nothing. If you mess with a Scorpio, if you are watching this video, you're wondering about a Scorpio, be careful now. If you make a Scorpio feel like this, I was a bit hesitant to show you this card, but it came out, so I have to. If you made a Scorpio feel like this, oh. Or if you're going to, watch it. Seriously, watch it. Because they're not going to take it. They're going to study the situation. And they are going to have words with you. I want to look into this a little bit more. I don't want to make this reading so long. I'm bad at keeping readings short. I'll get better. Unless you like it long. If you like it long, alright, let me know. Yeah. This could represent a little bit of, there are some quarrels happening in the future. If it's with your partner, it's not that serious. It's not something that you can't get out of. It's just, everyone fights every now and then. That's fine. But what bothers me is that you have this that came out, right? And the 10 of Swords came out after the Page of Pentacles. So I feel like this is a third party. I hate to break it to you. Because what is she doing in this reading? And pages can also represent messages, incoming messages that come in. So if this is a third party, younger third party that just pops in, earthy energy, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn, and it sort of disrupts this good flow that you have now going on and makes you feel like this is bad news, Bottom of the deck, Judgment. I feel heavily that this is a third party. Watch it. It could be, this uncertain energy in the present, the Seven of Cups. It's another storyline entirely. It could, maybe this Empress has been is a very overindulgent person. The Empress sometimes can be someone who overdoes things a little bit, likes to enjoy themselves a bit too much as well. Maybe drinks a bit too much, parties a bit too much. It could be. It is usually like a very motherly figure, who's pregnant, has a lot to offer, very solid, but can sometimes, usually if she's if she's reversed, I would say, okay, she's all over the place drinking. But just considering that the Seven of Cups popped up right next to her, something to keep in mind. There is Judgment at the bottom of the deck. So please be careful. This speaks really loud and clear that it's also a karma card for me. It's karma coming around. With this past life energy coming back to haunt you, so just be a little bit careful, I feel. Seven, you have 2 7s, and five. Oh no, you have 3 7s. Oh, okay. You have 3 7s. Let's see if there's something additional to add to that. Yeah. If there's a little bit of a wobbly foundation, you know, you're not so sure, that's also coming through. And because you're also in the presence of 2 kings here. So I feel this is not you. This is not you. I don't feel that this is you at all in your past. But I do feel that this is you in the present, you know, taking on this fiery energy. But the mere fact that there are 2 kings that appear suggests that there are going to be talks, okay? Talks about the future and how to move forward. These secrets that came out, probably. If you weren't privy, you're privy now. You're finding out now. And it will cause a little bit of disturbance. There are some quarrels, some obstacles, some conflicts. It's nothing you won't overcome. It involves a third party. Please watch out. This betrayal, being stabbed in the back, it's not going to last forever, but it's a harsh card. But because it's a 10, it means that whatever comes next will be a fresh start for you. You're going to let go of the bullshit. Sorry, I don't mean to curse, but you're going to let go of all that does not serve you. Do that. And do it with well intentions. You can manifest a lot of power right now. You really can. Turn her back upright. Use your knowledge and your intuition so that you don't get yourself stuck in a murky situation. I mean, the Judgment card can also suggest, you know, rising, like the rising phoenix. Did I get that right? You know, being born anew. Things coming to light. If it's old karma, you're going to resolve it. It's going to come to a resolution. You will be able to move forward. But please turn her upright. This is in your past anyway, but use your intuition. And stay well, Scorpio. And if you liked this, please let me know. And if you didn't, please let me know. And if you have anything to say, feel free. Yes. These energies will go, they will extend, you know, like until the end of the month, beginning of December, maybe the first week of December. And after that, well, we'll follow up and we'll see how it goes for you guys. So I love you all. I really do. Take care.